Hi, my name is Heather. Welcome to Strings and Threads. Today is the video tutorial for the bow tie bucket hat. To make this hat, I'm using I Love This Cotton, and the colorway is 348 Paris in June. And what the other things you'll need, I'm using an H hook. This was my Grammy's. You can see it says 39 cents on it. An H hook is 5mm. And a pair of scissors. So to get started in a magic ring, and I'll show you how I do the magic ring. I just go as if I was going to do a slip knot. And instead of pulling it tight, I just leave it loose like this. We're going to put 10 single crochets in the magic circle. A lot of people just go right to the first stitch, but I chain one because it more defines where the stitches end. So chain one and then 10 single crochets. Let's pause here, put 10 in, and then come back. I have my 10 in. I'm going to tighten the magic circle and then attach with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. For the second round, we're going to chain one, put a single crochet in the first stitch, chain one, put a single crochet in the next stitch, chain one, single crochet in the next stitch. This is going to be the pattern around. You're going to put single crochets in every stitch around, but you're going to chain one right after every single crochet. So let's pause here, finish the round, and then come back. At the end of the round, I just put a single crochet in the last stitch, chain one, and then attach with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. For this round, we're going to chain two. This will count as a single crochet. And you're going to put single crochets in every chain space around. Single crochet, chain one, single crochet into the chain space, chain one. It's a little bit hard to see in the beginning, but you can see the single crochets right there. I'm not going into that. I'm going into the chain space that's between the single crochets. And then chain one. Continue that around. Pause here, and then we'll come back when that round's done. All right, I put a single crochet in the last chain space. We're still going to chain one and then attach with a slip stitch to this space here that we were counting as a single crochet. This round we're going to increase. So chain two, that will count as a single crochet. Single crochet into the single crochet. Chain one, single crochet into the chain space, chain one, single crochet into the single crochet, chain one, single crochet into the chain space. So you're going to put a single crochet into each space and each stitch around while chaining in between. Come all the way around, pause here, come around, and then we'll go to the next round. All right, I put a single crochet in the last chain space, and I'm going to chain again, attach with a slip stitch to that chain two space that we had that counts as a single crochet. So now we're going to chain one, single crochet into that chain two space, chain one, skip the single crochet into the space between the two single crochets. We're going to do this around. You chain one, single crochet into the chain space, chain one, you can see where the two single crochets are here, single crochet into the chain space. Pause here, and we'll come back when we've come all the way around. All right, I've come all the way around, and I put a single crochet in the last chain space. Now I'm going to chain one and attach with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Okay, we're going to do something we did 2 rounds ago. We're going to chain 2, single crochet into the single crochet, chain 1, single crochet into the space between the single crochets. So you're going to chain 1 after each stitch, but you're going to put a single crochet in every stitch around. So single crochet in the single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in the space. This will give us an increase. Chain 1, single crochet in the single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in the chain space until you come all the way around. So let's pause here, come around, and then we'll come back. All right, you can see there's a little bit of fluff to it. It's totally fine. We're going to straighten that out. I put a single crochet in the last chain of that round. Now I'm going to chain 1 and attach with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Chain 2, that'll count as a single crochet. I'm going to single crochet into the chain space, chain 1, single crochet into the chain space, chain 1, and we're going to do that around. We're just going to single crochet into each of the chain spaces between the single crochets and then chain 1. So pause it, come all the way around, and then we'll go to the next step. I'm all the way around, put a single crochet in the last chain space and chain 1 and attach with a slip stitch to the chain 2 space. For this round, we're going to do the same exact thing. So for the beginning here, chain 1, put a single crochet in that first chain space that we made at the beginning of the last round. Chain 1, put a single crochet in the chain space. Same thing we just did. We're going to do it again all the way around. So pause here and then we'll come back when we get all the way around. All right, I came all the way around. I have a single crochet into the chain space, the last chain space. I'm going to chain 1, attach with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. So if there's a single crochet right away at the beginning of the round, you're going to chain 2. And then you're going to skip that single crochet and put a single crochet into the chain space. If you're starting off with the chain 2, then you're going to put a single crochet right into that chain 2 space and then chain and then put another single crochet in the next chain space. We are going to do 5 more rounds exactly like we just did the last 2 rounds, where you are going to put single crochets in the chain space, chain 1, single crochet in the chain space, chain 1, all the way around for 5 more rounds. So let's pause here and complete those 5 rounds and then come back. Here's how it looks with 5 more rounds added. So for this next round, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to put 1 single crochet in the back loop of every stitch and chain around. So for those of you who don't know, a back loop only means if you see the stitch right here, it kind of looks like a circle or a V here. This one right here is the front loop. This one's the back loop back here. So what we're going to do is only crochet into the back loop. We're going to leave the front loop open. I'll show you one more time. You go in through the middle of the stitch. Instead of going through the stitch, you go in the middle of the stitch and single crochet with just the back loop. Let's do that with all the stitches around and then come back. All right, so when you come around, you'll have 88 single crochets now. So what we're going to do, we're going to start the bow tie pattern. There's going to be a repeat, so I'm going to clearly mark each row so that you know where to go back to check your repeat. So this will be row 1. of the repeat right here. For row 1, chain 1, single crochet in the next 5 single crochets, chain 8, skip 7 single crochets, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now in the 8th one, so you're going to go to the next one, the 8th one, you're going to put a single crochet, and you're going to put 6 total, including this one, single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you're going to chain 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Skip the next 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the 8th one, put a single crochet, and you're going to do the next. You're going to do 6 single crochets total. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to continue this around until we get to the very last set. So, and I want you to go until you get to the last set by doing 6 single crochets like we just did, chain 8, skip 7 stitches in the 8th stitch, start your next round of 6 single crochets, and continue that until you get to the end. We'll come back and we'll talk about the end when we get there. All right, I'll come around to the end here. I did my last set of 6, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets left. What we're going to do is we're going to chain 8, and then just attach with a slip stitch to the very first single crochet from the previous row. Right here, we're starting row 2. This will be the repeat for row 2. For row 2, you chain 1, you put 1 single crochet in each single crochet that you see. We started with 5, and then all the rest have 6. And then once you have single crocheted in all the single crochets, you chain 8. And you don't do anything with the chains, you just go to the next set where we had 6 single crochets here, and you'll put 1 single crochet in each of those 6 stitches. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around. Wherever there's a single crochet from the previous round, you single crochet into it. Wherever there are chains, you chain 8 and just leave that chain floating over the other one. Let's pause here, finish the round, and then come back. All right, I've come all the way around. Now I'm going to attach with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. These are the directions for row 3. For row 3, we're going to do the same thing as row 2. Chain 1, 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets, and then when you get to the chain, you're just going to chain 8. Let me show you when I get there. So here I am, I'm at the chains, just like we did before, chain 8, skip over the chains, and then put single crochets in the single crochets in this group of 6. And we're just going to do that around. When you come around, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. All right, these are the directions for round 4, for row 4. And this is the last repeat in this section. So what we'll do is we'll chain 1, put 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets. The difference is going to be, this will be the same for every single round, but the difference is going to be when we get to the chaining part. So here we're going to chain 3. We're going to put a single crochet right in the middle of this cluster of 3. Chain 3 again, then single crochet in each of the single crochets. When you get to the next chaining group, you do the same thing. You chain 3, single crochet all 3 of those chaining clusters together right in the middle, and then chain 3 again, and then single crochet in the single crochets. So what we're going to do is we're going to repeat this until the hat is the length that you would desire without the brim. I'll come back and show you how many repeats that is for me, but this is going to be a personal preference as to how long you want the hat to be. So I would say you want the hat to come slightly below the tip of your ears, and then we would put the brim on it. So measure it out to as long as you want it to be and do the repeats until you get to that. You do want to end with round 4. So make sure that you're planning it so that it will end that way. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about the brim. Hey, I wanted to show you how far I came down for my hat. I went about halfway down my ear. The brim is going to come out. And so you don't want it to fit like a regular hat, like all the way down, because otherwise then once you put the brim on, it will cover your eyes. You won't be able to use it. But I wanted to show you, I did the initial bow row, and then I did 1, 2, 3 repeats, and that was the perfect size for me. And depending on your head shape or who you're making it for, you might need to adjust how many of those repeats that you do. I'm going to turn it around here and show you how to do the brim. Okay, we're ready for the brim now on this. So what I'm going to do is chain 2, and then in the back loop only. The way that you do that, we've done this before, we did that earlier up here. But you're going to look at the stitch. Normally we would go under both parts of the stitch like this, but instead we're going to go right through the middle and just grab that loop that's in the back. Compared to where we're sitting, it's in the back. And we're going to do a double crochet through that. What we're going to do is we're going to start with an increase 2 double crochets. And then this entire round is going to be in the back loop only. We're going to do 1 double crochet in the back loop only of the next 12 stitches. And once you get to the chains, here are the chains, you're just going to continue doing this in the chains. You're going to go into the back loop of each of these chains. So you're going to count those. You're going to put double crochets in each of these stitches and chains going all the way around in the pattern of 2 or an increase in 1, and then 1 individual double crochet in the back loop of each of the next 12 stitches. Now, this may not go all the way around perfectly with that counting. Wherever you end, I'll go around too, and I'll show you, but wherever you end, say you had an increase right here, then just put 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches and then attach with a slip stitch. I'm not worried about it coming out exactly evenly. I think that that increase of doing an increase and then 12 individuals is going to be right about the perfect increase that we're going to want for this brim. So I'm going to pause here. You do the same thing, go all the way around with that pattern, increase, and then 12 individual, increase, 12 individual in the back loop only of the stitch or the chain, and then attach with a slip stitch to the first one, and we'll come back. All right, I've come all the way around. Mine ended with 2 double crochets in the last stitch. I did 12, and then there was 1 more stitch left, so I just put 2 double crochets in that. We're going to attach with a slip stitch to the first double crochet. Now, the length of the hat brim is totally up to you. I'm going to just, the directions for the rest of the hat are going to be when you come around, you chain 2, and then put 1 regular double crochet in every stitch around. And you can do as many rows as you desire until you think the length looks right for what you want. I'm going to continue doing this with mine, and then I'll let you know how many rounds I ended up doing in order for it to be the length that I liked, that I felt comfortable with. So just pause the video here and continue working, or if you want to just continue the video to see how many rounds I ended up with, you can just let it run right through, and then you can do your length later. But I'm going to pause the video here so that I can see how long I want it to be. Okay, I just finished it up. On the brim, this first round right here is where we did the increase, and then I added 2 more rounds, and for me that was the perfect amount. So let me put it on so you can see. This is my new favorite hat. I just love how these bow ties kind of give it's perfect for summer. It gives it a little bit of breathing, and the top, when we did the seed stitch, that also leaves space for breathing. So it's not going to be so hot to wear this, but it still keeps the sun off of you. So for me, this is the perfect bucket hat. So the bow tie bucket hat. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Please share it out. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I love doing video tutorials, and I love making new yarny friends. So I would love to have you be part of this group. Have a great day. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.